quite eerie almost, looking at a big lioness dead like this. I'll tell you the story briefly, as much as I can summarize it from what I heard from the guys that were out here this morning, what I also saw later on when I came out here later in the morning by myself. Basically, looking at those tracks we saw earlier as well, the Mapocho males came in from the from the western direction, I guess, some Mobili direction, west-southwest, came all the way along that road and found these lionesses. Now something else, I'm not quite sure, we might try and go have a look later, but later on this morning when I was sitting here with this lioness, I heard a lot of growling further into very, very thick bush. It took me almost an hour to get in there, and I found 3 of the Mapocho males, and they were busy eating the very last remaining bits of skin and meat from a waterbuck. I thought there was a little bit of irony in it this morning before we struggled to transmit. One of the questions was why not so many animals eat waterbuck. In this case they'd killed a big waterbuck bull, but it would have been the Kahuma females, the Kahuma pride. This female that we're looking at now, or this one, it was a Kahuma female, and the rest of the pride would have killed it probably 2 days ago, judging from the carcass and from the remains there. Look at that lifeless eye. And they would have killed it, and in that process, that's how the Kahumas would have found them. Maybe smelt it, maybe the lionesses roared and they heard it. And this is a little bit reminiscent of the last time we saw a dead cub. You remember I can't remember the exact date, December. Look at those ticks. It was a similar case. If you remember, those of you that joined us on that morning, it was also a very dramatic day. They'd killed a buffalo. No, not a buffalo, a giraffe. Sorry, I'm thinking back to a different thing now. And again, if there's a big carcass, and that attracted the Mapocho males, and that then attracted the sort of subsequent violence. Now what happened here from the tracks, and again, the guys saw a bit of it this morning early on. Obviously the Mapochos found them, maybe surprised them a bit on this carcass, and obviously a lot of fighting would have followed from that. They killed at least 2 cubs that they know of. Unfortunately we can't see any of them. We'll have a look around here just now. This morning I couldn't find any of them. They killed 2 cubs, sorry. My brain is a little bit muddled up sometimes. It's a very strange thing to look at, this dead lioness. But they killed at least 2 cubs that we know of. They killed this lioness. She was probably trying to defend them. And the Mapocho was also carrying quite a few scars. The one male I saw this morning had some big gashes in his face. His eyebrow was cut wide open, his forehead, his legs. So it would have been very, very violent out here. Now what is even more interesting, or as interesting, is that this morning earlier when the guys were watching them, the Mapochos continued to eat one of these cubs. Now that's something I've never seen before. I've heard along the grapevine here and there of cases where lions have eaten parts of other lions. I've heard a few interesting stories here and there, but I don't know of any sort of fully documented cases where they showed lions eating other lions. Now this is what happened. It happened literally just here. Unfortunately there's not much to show now, but the Mapochos then continue to literally eat this one cub, which is very interesting. So I don't want to hypothesize too much as to why and how and so on, but what I do want to say is that it's something that we've been expecting for quite a few months actually. It's been I've been amazed, put it this way, I'm more amazed by the fact of how long it's taken for this kind of things to happen than I am by the fact that it has happened. So it's very sad, it's very dramatic, and it's something that just looking at it now, I mean, just looking at that eye, just that dull reflection of the light is obviously quite emotional, and it's something I know that many of you will get emotional about. But keep in mind that this is the jungle. This is how it goes, and these guys are the king of the jungle. So there are some violent things sometimes. Yeah, sorry, it's just my fazingala lutu makoti, nothing else, but feeling wolf. Now next. Sorry guys, it's Ephraim and them coming to have a look as well. But as I was saying, it's very harsh, and we'll speak about it more. I'm sure we'll come past you again maybe tomorrow as well, and talk more about it and emotionally work with it. But keep in mind that's how it works. That these lions are big and dominant, and they will father some incredible offspring. But this is some of the effect that you get with it sometimes. We're going to make some space for Ephraim and them to have a look, and we'll see how we're going to continue.